Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information.
MTN.
Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
It's 3 days to the Joy FM family party in the park. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News.
Let the water flow. I will speak to him directly. President John Dramani Mahama. Yellow blood do.
The Midday News is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM here in Accra. We are on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, myjoyonline.com, and affiliates in all 16 regions of Ghana, including Kekeli FM Ho, Bishara Radio Tamale, KTU Radio Kofodia, Oil City Radio Takrady, and Castle FM Cape Coast. Live on X Spaces, Facebook, and YouTube. The Midday News is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. Coming up, reactions to Constitution Review Committee recommendations as some of the proposals spark debate. We'll hear from politicians, governance experts, and from you, the public. Deputy Energy Minister assures of sustained power supply to Kumasi during the festive season as AXA Energy distributes first 47 megawatts power units to the national grid later this afternoon.
From indication and the work they have done so far, we are very confident that, and the reports, that by next week, all the units will be energized.
And in sports,
Nigeria and Senegal to begin respective AFCON campaigns today.
And later, cocoa farms in Amasia West are under siege as illegal mining takes over productive farmland.
The whole community was full of cocoa farms. But as I talk to you, it has reduced drastically.
Everyone loves money.
To what Pia cocoa in an own diminu. Said the only bush and your 200 Musuna was as in my betriaco. In the Almatiano, Daniaman. A Bobby Pibiano, Diamond.
And later, it is 3 days to the Joy FM family party in the park. And as companies look forward for meaningful ways to reward staff this Utah, it will tell you about the corporate-friendly packages the event has to offer.
Yo, what's up, friends and family?
What's good?
Yes,
Charlie?
sir, man. This right here is Dope Nation, and guess what? We are coming for the Joy FM party in the park.
Yep, Charlie, Ibri Gardens. We are coming through from 9 a.m. sharp till whenever, Charlie. Make everybody pull up. Come with your families. Come with your children, your loved ones, Charlie, your siblings, your friends. Make everybody pull up for Ibri Gardens.
Yes.
Dope Nation is coming through. It's going to be a party.
Yes, sir. One love.
Nation.
Let's settle for the details now. My name is Maxwell Agbagba. This afternoon, mixed reactions have greeted the Constitution Review Committee's recommendations submitted to President Mahama. While there's broad support for some of the proposals, others have not enjoyed same. Among others, the committee has proposed that no sitting member of parliament should be appointed as a minister. The committee has also proposed reducing the minimum age for a presidential candidate from 40 to 30 years. There is also pushback on the recommendation to extend the presidential term from 4 to 5 years. We'll hear from politicians, governance experts, and members of the public shortly. But first, my colleague Jackie Ansuma Yoboa joins me in the studio with more on some of the recommendations.
Yes, Maxwell. So one of them is to subject the president to taxation, including indirect taxes like all citizens, and also limit post-presidency immunity, allowing civil actions anytime and criminal actions within 4 years after leaving the office. And also to deepen political and fiscal decentralization, including the election of MMDCEs. And another that we see here is to cap parliament at 276 MPs and reform constituency demarcation to prevent misappropriation. And also there's to strengthen parliamentary independence by by allowing caucuses to elect and remove their own leaders. And another bit of it is also to curb the abuse of the certificate of urgency with strict safeguards. And also we have restricts presidential powers during the post-election transition period. Also reform public appointments by classifying officers as executive, independent or hybrid, and bind the president to advise where independence is required. And we also have to decouple ministers from parliament, that is MPs cannot be appointed ministers or deputy ministers. Also to replace Article 71 arrangements with an independent public emolument commission to determine salaries and benefits. That's Maxwell. We also have a lot here. There's let me pick one last year to constitutionally guarantee public participation in law making.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jackie and Suma Yubua, for bringing us the other recommendations made by the Constitution Review Committee. Well, this afternoon, mixed reactions have greeted the recommendation submitted to President Mahama. Deputy Roads and Highways Minister Alhassan Suini, who is also a member of Parliament, says that being both a minister and an MP is about balance. He supports the proposal to extend the presidential tenure from 4 to 5 years and also backs the proposal to elect district chief executives.
It is not that burdensome. Yes, your schedules will increase, and it is about how you plan your responsibilities to either side, that is the executive and then the legislature. I mean, when the Speaker of Parliament recently had cause to publish members of Parliament who were, regular in Parliament, many of us who were in the executive were also featured as regular, attendees of parliamentary business. So it's about how you plan your schedules. Good side of the recommendations for the separation. The brighter side of things in the recommendation is the recommendation for district chief executives to be elected. I think that when that happens and you implement the separation of power in its true spirit, it may work better for us.
How about the term of the president?
I agree with the thinking that the 4-year period has not helped us much, and it's because of our level of development and the deficit that we have. Sometimes when you are lucky to have a party or a government or a president with a very big vision, the electoral cycle tend to be a limitation in the implementation of very ambitious, projects. But the opposite too is true.
Yeah, if you
have a bad president, you may be saddled with that.
You heard Alhassan Suini supporting the presidential term, the extension of the presidential term from 4 to 5 years. Now, political marketing consultant and lecturer at the University of Education, Winneba, Dr. Tutu Bwine, says it is unclear what the reason behind the proposal to reduce the eligibility age for the presidency from 40 to 30.
You are going to start your political career. Okay. So it will take you close to 14 years, to develop any kind of experience that what you need to move into, politics. But the question is, would that person be matured enough, have that kind of experiences to back that kind of IQ that he has or knowledge that he has to lead the country? All right. I don't know what went into the determination of the 30 years, but that is what they have proposed. Okay. Else, I would have wished that the 40 years stays.
You heard there Dr. Tutu Bwine. We'll be hearing from some Ghanaians in a moment, but now let's get on the phone lines and speak to governance expert Bafo Ajimendua, who's joining us this afternoon. Mr. Ajimendua, we want to find out first, what's your assessment of the CRC's recommendation to extend the presidential term from 4 to 5 years? Do you see potential benefits?
Oh, yes, plenty of. Look, first of all, there are certain tangibles and intangible values that they bring to us. If you take the tangible, we know that for every 4 years, we spend about take $700 million conducting elections. The intangible part is the tension that is created in the country with the two parties and other parties all fighting for the seat of government. Every election period, churches open 24 hours, must have to open 24 hours to pray to God that this country is safe. Why do we have to impose that on ourselves? Now, it's going to be 5 years. When it's 5 years, it means every 20 years we save one election, $700 million, we save the tension, and we save the needless prophecies that evangelists have now. They've made a job out of that. That's on the lighter note. But the point is that, sure, a president needs that period first to settle in 1 year. Again, you initiate your agenda. I need time to consolidate. And as you are consolidating, you are faced with the 4th year, and that's another election waiting for you. So it shifts government attention away from the real business of government to elections.
How do you also evaluate the proposal to prevent sitting members of parliament from being appointed as ministers? Could this improve governance or create challenges?
For me, the improvement is more than the challenges, because we've been advocating for years about the need to separate the executive from the from the legislature. And the legislative role, one key role is oversight, making sure government does what it has to do within the law and all that. And oversight over governments by legislature has been weak because of this fusion system that we have. Because if you're a member of the executive, say a minister, and at the same time you are in parliament, how do you go to parliament to support a certain or oppose a certain legislation or bill, and then come back to executive to change your mind on that? So it has always blurred the accountability matters that we expect from the government. So I think it's a good way. But at the same time, the challenges could be, one can go back to history and say, well, under Liman's time, there was a problem. His budget was thrown away. Look, we are trying to develop a better system for ourselves. So we cannot allow that history to hold us hostage. We need to learn the way we govern ourselves. We need to learn the relationship. We learn the relationship between parties in parliament, and so on and so forth. So I think it's an opportunity for us to recast the way we play our politics, to ensure that, in fact, there's effective accountability demanded of the executive by the legislature.
Yeah. Finally, before you go, considering all their recommendations collectively, do you think the proposals strengthen democracy in Ghana, or could they create unintended political challenges?
Overall, I'm very pleased. First of all, I'm happy that the president fulfilled his promise. During the campaign, he said he will initiate constitutional review. And within the same month that he came to office, he did institute the committee. Second, almost all the issues that we have been advocating over the past 25 or so years, that's why I believe it was easy for somebody like Professor Prempeh to lead, because being one of the key advocates for the reform. And is it going to enhance? Yes, it's going to enhance our democratic practice. Look, we used to use the term imperial presidency to describe our president. Now they are proposing decoupling, not only decoupling the legislature from the executive, but also proposing taking away certain powers, the extensive powers of the executive. In a way, I admire President Mahama, because when I saw him on television receiving the report, his demeanor and his remarks impressed me that he's not really opposed to any of the proposals. Having all these powers and being told in the face that, look, we are going to lose these powers. So in a way, he's going to be the sacrificial lamb in this matter. And I think he's humble enough to accept that, because going forward, we need to have a better framework for democratic practice in the country. And one last thing before I go. Don't forget the proposal to devolve power, to strengthen decentralization. That is a process to make democracy work at the grassroots
okay,
rather than at the top. We have a top-down democracy rather than the bottom-up. So if we are going to have both political and fiscal decentralization, then of course we can begin to see some dynamism in our democratic practice at the local levels.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Professor Bafo Ajimendria, he's a governance expert, speaking to us about the CRC's recommendations submitted to President Mahama yesterday. We've been hearing from some Ghanaians as well.
I think we should maintain the 4 years because I don't see the reason why we should add another year to it. Is it for holidays or what? Because any good leader can change things within a certain possible time. And Ghana here, our constitution states clearly that president has 2 terms. So if you perform well, Ghanaians will give you the baton to continue. But if you don't perform well, definitely will vote you out. On several occasions, you have seen where presidents are given 2 terms. Kufuor went on a 2 term, and now the same. President Mahama is on his 2nd term. In his 1st term, Ghanaians voted him out because maybe he didn't meet their expectations. I don't see the reason we should go for 5 years. Again, other democratic countries are practicing 4 years and they are developing better than us. So I don't see the reason why we should go in for 5 years.
Reducing of the presidential eligibility age to 30 years, which I think it will be good because it will actually involve the youth a lot. We don't want to have a country where leaders are all old people. I understand the old people have their own school of thought, but I believe that the involvement of the youth in nation building is very, very key and it's very, very important.
You have some Ghanaians. Let's head to the Ashanti region now, where Kumasi and other major cities in the southern sector of the national grid are expected to enjoy an improved power supply this festive season as AXA Energy schedules to distribute its first unit of 47 megawatt power capacity to the national grid. This first distribution is part of the 141 megawatts power generation, which is expected to be completed in the coming days. During the tour of the power generation substation at Awumaso in Kumasi, together with officials of the Ghana Grid Company, Deputy Energy Minister Richard Jan Mensah was confident the new plants would add to Ghana's generation capacity and significantly improve the reliability of power supply to Kumasi and surrounding communities.
For having attended to this visit, we are here today to see progress of work with the AXA Awumaso plant. And from indication and the work they have done so far, we are very confident that, and the reports, that by next week, all the units will be energized. At the moment, reports indicate that by late afternoon today, the first unit of 47 megawatts will be connected. They have already tested, their transformers are all energized, control room, everything connected. And so by afternoon, Kumasi area would have additional 47 megawatts. But the total is to bring on board a minimum of 120 megawatts by next week. That is, but because there are 3 units, they are operating one after a time, so they make sure that everything is connected. But before then, I have to appreciate the patience of the good people of Kumasi and its environs. We know this exercise that has been undertaken for the past few days, especially in the last 2 days. Some part of Kumasi experienced some power interruption, and this is because of the work they are doing here. You are with us, and the reporting, even at the point, even now that they are still working, at the point they may need to take off the power briefly to make sure they connect, to make sure that Kumasi area enjoys the full power improvements that we seek to achieve.
You are the Deputy Energy Minister. Meanwhile, all security services in the military in the Ashanti region have committed personnel to ensure an incident-free Christmas. The effort, coordinated by the Regional Security Council, anticipate possible security threats during the festive season. As part of the strategies, joint security agencies paraded through Kumasi streets to demonstrate their force. Addressing the parade, Operations Command of the military in the Ashanti region, Colonel Abbas Atugu, indicated that the united force and other strategies being rolled out guarantee residents' safety. The leadership of the minority in parliament has tabled 9 issues it describes as a governance crisis before President John Mahama. This is part of the caucus's special engagement with the president on matters of national interest and general governance. The issues border on illegal mining, mass dismissals of public servants, what the minority also terms selective prosecution, and what is also termed the third term agenda. My colleague Stephen Mensah joins me in the studio with details of this. Stephen, who were present at this engagement and what was discussed?
So the meeting was attended by President John Dramani Mahama with officials from the presidency and the full parliamentary leadership. This included the second deputy speaker, the majority leader and his deputies, as well as the minority leader, his deputies and his chief whips. The discussions focused on what the minority described, as you earlier mentioned, as grave threats to Ghana's democracy, constitutional order, national security and governance, which they formally presented to the president.
What were the concerns the minority raised?
So the minority raised 9 major concerns with the president. These included illegal mining and the alleged role of Code Board in legitimizing it, the mass dismissal of about 2,002 public servants, the weaponization of election petitions, and the targeting of minority MPs. They also petitioned the president on partisan discrimination in contract payments, cancellation of the One District, One Factory initiative, selective prosecution, and punitive bail conditions. And also youth unemployment, described as a national security threat, rising national insecurity, including violent crime and kidnappings, concerns over a possible third-term agenda, and the minority urged the president to take urgent and decisive action on all these issues.
Thank you, Stephen Mensah. Now, illegal mining is ripping through many cocoa farmlands in Amansia West District. Cocoa farms are giving way to mining pits, polluted water, and lost livelihoods, raising urgent questions about the future of a vital national export. Nabuachi Yadom has more in this report.
Ghana, a nation renowned for its green gold, cocoa, is grappling with an escalating crisis that threatens to cripple its economy and devastate its environment. The scourge of illegal mining has long been a canker on the landscape, but a new and alarming twist in its destructive path is now directly targeting the country's vital cocoa farms. Cocoa farmers, once pillars of Ghana's economy, are now being compelled to sell their ancestral lands to illegal miners in exchange for heavy cash. I met Bismarck, a cocoa farmer getting ready for harvest on his 7-acre cocoa farm.
The Galamseyers come fully prepared with money and influence from people in high authority. After buying land from one farmer, they mine in ways that damage neighboring farms. Eventually, those farmers are left with no option but to sell their land, often at a much lower price.
Drone shots reveal gaping pits, heaps of excavated soil, and pools of polluted water in areas that were once flourishing cocoa farms. Parts of Bismarck's cocoa farm have already been cut off, contributing to a noticeable decline in his cocoa production. Amos Wembele, working on his 12-acre cocoa farm, speaks about the bleak future of cocoa production in the region.
It is reducing because the money that they intend to give out to the farmers, it looks somehow, according to some, is okay for them. So even as here, the whole community was full of cocoa farms. But as I talk to you, it has reduced drastically.
The municipal agricultural officer for Amansia West, Millicent Aka, describes the situation as deeply worrying.
Looking at it, a lot of people are into cocoa production, but they couldn't even erect a house. Everyone loves money.
She also highlights the destruction of water bodies, which makes farming operations increasingly difficult.
All the water bodies there is a not. We don't see the natural color. Water should be colorless. But this one, you see it to be cream or brown, that type. So that is one level of destruction.
You had Nanabuachi Yadom's report. You're listening to the Midday News. Time for a short break now, but when we come back, we have sports and we talk about the Joy Family Party in the Park.
Charlie, Agbagba Gardens, we are coming through.
It's the Joy FM Family Party in the Park 2025. On 26 December, we're taking over the Aburi Botanical Gardens from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. for a full day of non-stop vibe.
Bring the kids. Bring everyone who still owes you Christmas chicken, because we have everything lined up. Family cooking contests, sack races, dance battles, treasure hunts, and a list of wild, wholesome fun that will have your family screaming.
And if you get hungry, the Ghana Food Village is ready to serve flavor in every bite, while the Daddy's Corner brings you authentic high life and Jama magic with the legendary Kwanpa Band. Ghana's finest DJs spinning hit after hit with the one and only Kwabna and the boys Dope Nation. Plus, lots of other great performers turning the stage into musical flames.
Joy FM Family Party in the Park, 26th December at the Agbagba Botanical Gardens. Come, let's make memories that last a lifetime.
Get your tickets from the front desk of Joy FM for only 300 Ghana cedis for a family of 6. Or dial *725 *3404#. The Joy FM Family Party in the Park is powered by EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank, and sponsored by Gino, Truly Cares. Frytol, you deserve a life of goodness. Jama Detergent Powder, your partner for clean clothes. M-Ticket, travel smart, travel seamlessly. And Numansa Beach Resort, Elmina, where Accra comes to breathe. Doormaster, the best indoors. Ayuda, Ghana's #1 services app. Agbagba Services Bebre. And Koa Natural Juice, a 100% cocoa fruit juice.
The Lancaster Accra brings you the Countdown Dinner Dance 2025 with the legend Samini. Be a part of this Countdown Dinner Dance 31st December 2025 from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. at Lancaster Accra. It's 3,000 Ghana cedis for couples, 1,800 cedis for singles, and 1,200 cedis for kids. You'll be treated to sparkling wine on arrival, an extensive around-the-world buffet dinner, and spectacular fireworks. There'll be surprise giveaways for early birds and lucky guests. Don't miss out on this exciting offer with Samini Live, Swiss Band, DJ Toyo, and Daniel the MC. For reservations, call 0501 423 571. Lancaster Accra, a world of hospitality services.
Welcome back from the break, and Daniel Cranton is here with sports.
Yeah, and favourite Senegal begin their AFCON campaign later today when they take on Botswana in Group D action. After round 16 exit in the last editions, the Sadio Mane-led side will be looking to reach the heights of 2021 when they won the competition. Nigeria will also kick off their campaign later today against Minos, Tanzania. After missing out on a place at the 2026 World Cup, the Super Eagles will be hoping to atone for their shortcomings. Star forward Victor Osimhen believes the team is blessed with enough quality players to deliver the goods.
We have so many bunch of talented players in this squad that can get the job done. So for me, I'm part of them also. Like some of us, if we don't see some of us, the others can also play. So that's one of the quality this squad possesses. So for some people to say that is because they believe so much in me, and I appreciate the love and support. But of course, I appreciate all my teammates also for giving me this opportunity to try to get goals for them, to try to listen to me, and I also listen to them. So for me, it's a mutual respect between us.
Yeah, Nigeria forward Victor Osimhen bringing an end to sports. Back to you.
Danny, I'm sure you'll be at the party in the park, the Botanical Gardens,
yes, I will.
on the 26th. We can't wait for that, yeah? Well, as corporate organizations across the country plan end-of-year activities for their staff, the focus is increasingly shifting towards experiences that combine relaxation, bonding, and entertainment. Well, this festive season, Joy FM's Party in the Park is positioning itself as one of such options with tailored packages aimed at companies looking to treat their employees to a family-friendly outdoor experience. Max Fuga is the head of sales and marketing at the Multimedia Group Limited, and it explains how the initiative creates value for both staff and organizations.
We also have corporate packages for organizations who want to buy for their staff, or who want to buy for their staff and families, or they want to just come and take 5 tables, 10 tables, 20 tables. Just reach out to 0267 551155 and make reservation for corporate tables. It is a discounted package that we are offering to organizations who want to buy these packages for their staff.
And Kwabna is one of the guest artists at the Joy FM Family Party in the Park event. We can't wait to see you on the 26th December, and that's how we end the Midday News. My name is Maxwell.